Hey everyone, Trackmaster Tehachapi here. Here's that Q&A video that's been in the works for a little bit now. But before I begin, I would like to say I'm sorry if your question was not featured. If your question wasn't featured for whatever reason, please comment it down below and I'll try my best to respond and answer to it. Because I like having you guys ask me questions, and yeah, I'll try to answer them if your question wasn't featured here. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. One idea I've had in mind for a while is to have a Trackmaster and HO scale fusion layout. I've always had that idea and I thought it would be pretty cool. Also, yes, HO scale videos will be coming in the future. That's a bit of a hard decision, but if I were to choose one, it would probably be the Flying Kipper just based on the model work alone. Yes, more steam locomotives are in the work as of now, and I'll be keeping you all updated on whatever ones I make next. I don't remember the number because it was repainted several years ago, but it was a BNSF C44-9W. Southern Pacific, all the way. I just like everything about them. Number 1, eventually, yeah, that would be kind of fun to do. And number 2, it's taken me about 2 years at this point to work on the layout. I used to watch that show as a baby, as a toddler, and basically growing up, so yes, I do have a pretty fond affection for Thomas. Number 1, I don't really know, because any engines that I want to model, I either have the power to or have already. Number 2, yes, I've made a Conrail engine before. And number 3, I've always wanted to model trains, but I found HO scale too expensive, so I decided to reuse Trackmasters. I don't really plan on it, but who knows, maybe one of the engines from the Bluebell will show up one of these days. Number 1, I've never really seen them running, so I don't have too much of a stance. And number 2, IC2466, just because CSX kinda ruined the scheme with their front YN3 nose. Yup, I'm trying to do a take of if Trackmaster made a big boy. Number 1, yes, I have a GP40-2 shell set in the paintworks that is gonna be a chassis system unit. Number 2, no, I don't really have space for it. Number 3, I'd probably have to go with a SP patch of some sort. Number 4, the answer is actually yes. Number 5, it's probably gonna have the same amount of detail as an HO scale layout. I thought of doing plain plastic like the old Trackmaster commercials, but I figured that looked too ugly. Either UP6236 or 1983. Number 1, I just used plain acrylic paint from any craft store. Number 2, it was a Trackmaster Thomas with a white running board, and yes, I do still have it. Number 3, no, some of them are dummies. Although the ones that do run, you will see on the first layer running. All the ones that are dummies or don't work, they're all gonna be on the first in the yard as scenery. Yeah, they'll come eventually. Yeah, that's an idea that I've had in mind for quite a while now, that I just haven't really gotten around to. Ew. Oh boy. Number 1, yes, you will get Amtrak stuff in the future. I don't know when, but it'll come eventually. Number 2, yes, more steam is on the way. I don't have any specific plans, but it will come. Number 3, yeah, that's something that I've wanted to do for a little while. Number 4, probably not. Number 5, also probably not. Number 6, no, I don't really have space for it. Number 1, I've caught 3 Bug X Leaser units on the way to Nebraska, which is pretty rare. Number 2, yes, I do own powertrains. Number 3 is probably one of my favorite locomotives. Number 4, that's a good question. Probably the little Santa Fe steam locomotive in Bakersfield. Number 5, she is doing great. Number 1, I do have an EMD SW1200 planned for the future. Number 2, I haven't really seen that locomotive much, so I can't really say. Number 3, I just found it fun and decided to give it a whirl. Number 4, probably UP6236. I just like how it turned out. I would love to do a Trackmaster Cajon Pass modern era. Maybe, I don't know. Number 1, probably not because I don't have the space. Number 2, yeah, NS8101 is something that's on the list. Number 3, because I'm native to the Tehachapi area. I was born and raised here and I've known it all my life. Number 4, again, not likely, I don't have that much space. Yep, I like the Rainbow era a little, so you'll probably get shells of that. Pretty big fan of the Southern Pacific, but I think you might have noticed that already. Either B40-8W or AC4400, although another strong contender is the SD40T-2. The earliest Trackmaster I can recall wanting was a set of Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle from Tomy. Alright, that's all the questions that I collected for this Q&A. Thank you so much for watching, and again, if I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. Please leave it in the comments. I'll try to get back to you and answer it myself. But as for everyone who's watched this, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for commenting questions. Stay safe and have a heritage unit. Goodbye.